Greetings, listeners, and welcome to ND 5.18. I am your host, Ender. I'd like to invite you on a ride along here in the back roads of the mind. Within us all lies a doorway to what or whom only you can decide. Many cast doubt upon the unseen, yet even the doubters keep to the light. I will be talking to you today about the door in us all here on our spiritual talks at ND 5.18. Now, first off, the door, and by extension, the threshold, is of importance to all seeking to protect their home and self. You may have heard the concept of a doorway and to be careful in what follows you home or what you let in, because it becomes part of who you are. Now, there are many types of doors, be it the spiritual one, in which we'll be focusing on, but the physical ones could be the ones to your home, your eyes and ears, and what you take in. These are examples of the doors in your life, and some that you may not pay attention to. Now, what is a door? It is the portal to what comes in and what leaves out. You must ask yourself, is your door sturdy or brittle, locked or open, or even cracked in some cases, by your hand or by another? Now the question is, you must ask yourself, how can it be opened and closed? In a word, belief. You do not have to be of any specific denomination or sect to practice spiritual protection. Okay? In this case, internal protection. And some of you may need to heed this more than others. Now, do you have an affinity for the spiritual side of things? Do certain practices come more natural to you? Now, the more sensitive out there, your door is already open. And those who've had experiences with the unseen, you could say your door's cracked. The belief in all things gives power to them. And that is the foundation of shutting or opening your door. Those of us who dabble in riskier arts will inevitably arouse the attention of entities that may or may not wish you harm. But all do crave the light that you, a physical, a living creature, bring. Now, you may ask yourself, what is strengthening or weakening my door? Look at the things that you let into your life. Okay? Be it the media that you consume, the information that you devour. Each of them brings their own pros and cons. Now, if you only hear terrible things, if you seek out terrible things, you're kind of showing an inclination towards a more darker thing in life. Now, if it's not uplifting you or bringing solace to what you are pursuing in life, then it has to be having a negative effect. Everything in life is either bringing you closer to enlightenment or more positive experiences, or it's taking you away from that path. That is a harsh truth, but the truth all the same. Now, when it comes to reinforcing your door, those of you who are wearing charms or wards or regularly cleanse your homes already practice a type of spiritual protection, powered not just by faith, but also by your personal faith in the items. The same faith that should be placed in your inner door. Personally, I keep the image of a barred, chained, and locked door clear in my mind. This is important for me because of my own personal experiences with entities in the past, as well as attachments from people and physical sources that accrued in my life. Like, I had to perform a cleansing after a former partner of mine, ended up, leaving this world by their own hand. But they had lingering attachments that for influencing me and like darkening my life. And those are also things that you need to be aware of. What you are letting into your home and what will follow you. Because you may be done with something, but it doesn't mean that it's done with you. Okay? Now, just like in your external protective measures, you renew them on a schedule. You should do the same for your inner protections. Take note, it is a sign of intrusion if the imagery you need to conjure tries to squirm away from you. It means that there's something or someone worming their way into your spirit, your mind, whatever you want to call it. Someone is focusing in on you, or something is. Okay? Beware, listeners, for there have been times when the security measures of my own door have been stripped away, and then I have to perform an external cleansing before I can feel comfortable going and doing an internal cleansing as well. Now, in regards to opening your door, nothing can take up residence within you without permission, though how it is gained can vary. Your guardian spirit may want nothing but well for you, but you must remain vigilant. As in the case of Budan, they may want to be in the light of life for a time. No, have fun, enjoy it. Now, for those of you who do not have a, strict spiritual group around you, I warn against this practice because strict rules and agreements need to be in place, along with other practitioners there to force the entity to leave after its time has been, used. Now, I would like to talk about thresholds with you all. These are the barriers keeping negative entities and energy outside of your home. The more of a home, be it you filling it with furnishings, energy, and, experience and memories of life, the more strengthened that threshold will be. Now, apartments are notoriously known to have less permanent thresholds due to their transitional nature and the many footprints left behind by previous tenants in them, right? But reinforcement by other items and practices, they can be nearly as strong as a home, filled with the generational spirits of a family. Be careful who you allow in, as they can bring in more than you can see. They may have something following them. They may have dark feelings of either towards someone else or from someone else latched onto them that they bring into your home, and they can be left behind. Also, take care what you bring back with you each day, because it could warp or wear down your threshold, allowing negative energy or entities to take root in your home. You may think, how can you do that? You could go to a thrift store, buy something that has negative attachments to it, not even know it, bring it into your home, and then random things start happening. Your marriage, relationship could just randomly start spiking, going wrong. You may feel just a sense of unease and weariness in your own home. If you are experiencing these things, you should look back on what changed. What items did I bring in? Who did I start hanging out with? Who came to my home? Please be wary of these situations. Now, listeners, thank you for accompanying me on this ride along in the back roads of the mind. And take heed of my warnings. Awareness is an affront to ignorance. The more you dive into your spiritual nature, the more aware of it you become, the more aware the spiritual entities become of you. Belief, faith, thresholds, wards, charms, stones, talismans. Protection takes many forms, and as you seek knowledge and understanding, that should be one of the first things that you take upon you to gird yourself. Now, this has been Ender, your host here at Indy 5.18, accompanying you on this ride along. Be well and live your best life.